Good morning and welcome back to the channel. So this morning is a very special morning for me. I just took my Nikon 180-600 Z lens out the box and I'm shooting it with the Z8 that I recently got. So I think today might be the perfect day to talk about why I switched from the Nikon D500 that I've had for years and years and switched over to the mirrorless Nikon Z8. So let's go. Let's shoot some birds. The Nikon D500 had been my go-to camera for years and years and years. For its time, it had incredible, and still has an incredible focusing system for a DSLR. That just helped you catch a lot of birds in flight, especially, which is mostly what I do, is a lot of wildlife photography. And its low light capability was also just bar none. But things seem to be evolving here, so I started doing a lot more video, and that was one of the main reasons that I went with the Z8. Now the mirrorless technology has been evolving a lot. Nikon may be a little slower than the rest, but it's now catching up, especially for what I do. I think it pretty much checks off all the boxes that I need, and I think I couldn't go wrong with having a faster focusing system, better tracking, and a larger sensor, being a full frame camera. I think this is a yellow-rumped warbler. I'm not sure if you can see it down here, but I'm just gonna point the camera in that direction and we'll probably get some pretty neat flight shots as it's snagging up insects, which would have been a lot harder with a DSLR. Let's try it out. Well, I even got some video of that bird in flight handheld, and you'll see that next. That would have been impossible with a DSLR, close to impossible. So let's keep going around over here. Let's see what else we can shoot. So I was watching some dolphins here by the ocean. It's a little bit noisy. But then I was talking about the autofocus system. These mirrorless cameras have some pretty awesome algorithms that can track like animals, birds, or even people's faces. So that is a huge game changer when it comes to tracking, especially moving subjects that are moving pretty fast. I'm gonna get away from the waves because it is kind of noisy. And yeah, another reason for going to a full frame sensor is capturing a lot more detail, especially in those situations where you need a lot of detail. This definitely goes a long way. It gives you a little bit of croppability. I don't like to crop very much, but in the cases where I have to, then this is a lot more ideal than the crop sensor of the Nikon D500. Unexpected advantage of this is the silent shutter. The DSLR has that really loud clacking of the shutter. This can actually go absolutely silent. I actually put the volume up on it just so I can have some feedback, even though you can see around the edges when it's shooting. I just kind of like a little bit of audio feedback for myself, but you can actually go 100% silent, which is really cool. The Z8 being mirrorless goes edge to edge when it comes to autofocus points. With the D500, I believe it was only 153 autofocus points, so that gives you a lot more versatility. Another thing I like, which was not the case in the older full frame cameras, was the low light capability. This camera's low light performance is at par, if not better, than my Nikon D500. When it comes to frames per second, I had about 10 frames per second with the D500. I can shoot up to 20 frames per second raw on this, which is more than enough for me. JPEGs, if you're using like the pre-capture feature and things like that, I believe I could actually go up to 120 frames per second, which is just overkill in my opinion. All in all, the Z8 has given me new creative possibilities, full frame sensor for when it's needed, and although the D500 always has a place in my heart, I think it was a right move switching over to this camera here. If you're in the market or looking to switch from a DSLR to a mirrorless camera, hopefully my reasons here helped you a little bit in making your decision. Well, thanks for watching. We'll see you next time. And if you haven't subscribed yet, go ahead and do so. Hit the thumbs up, and we will see you next time. Bye-bye.